everybody, let's go ahead and get started. And tonight I want to start just by asking you guys how everybody is doing. Maybe go around the circle, those that are on program, and see how everybody's doing. Who wants to go first? Sharing how you're doing on program. So, Bill? Yeah?
10 pounds and doing awesome.
10 pounds in how many days?
14 days.
14 days. So good for you. Good for you. And do you happen to know about Tracy?
7
pounds.
7 pounds.
Okay.
Since then.
Excellent. Good for you guys.
14.2 pounds in 15 days.
Wow. Man, you are rocking and rolling. And with a smile on her face. Look at that.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Treat, did you want to share?
Well, I've only been on it a week.
Yeah. It's only been a week. And how many pounds?
Do I have to say it?
No, you don't have to. No, absolutely not. She's done really well, though. I'll just say
Yes,
that.
I have.
So,
Done
that's
better.
exciting stuff.
I go up and down so much, I don't want people to say, well, how's she down? How's she
I
down?
you do a little
Yeah.
bit.
I've been here before, not here before, but.
It's all good. Yep. Yep. Everybody's journey is different. And so, anybody else want to share what's going on?
I've lost 4 pounds.
Okay. Good. 4 pounds?
I've lost 4.
4? All
You
right.
guys recent?
You're good.
I've
Neck
done
and neck.
7 and 8 days.
7 and 8 days. Awesome. Good for you. Good for you. Today is day 200 for me. I'm not in the weight loss portion anymore. I'm in maintenance, but I'm happy to say that I'm still 1.5 pounds down from what my end target weight was, which means I'm maintaining well and enjoying that maintenance. I've got lots of energy and I'm excited. And the thing that I'm more excited about now, I mean, I was super excited about the weight loss portion of the journey then. Now I'm really excited about all of this. I'm excited to see what's happening with you guys. I have over 30 clients. I did checked in with almost all of them yesterday. That's my client support day, and that's a long day. That's a lot of conversations, but I love connecting with people. I love hearing their story. I love encouraging them and having that opportunity to do that. And I'm telling you, I didn't tally up all the numbers. But man, it's pretty amazing. I'm gonna put out a post probably later tonight that'll have all of that information. And I only do that because it's when we're doing something together, it's really exciting. It's helpful to see what's happening with other people and hear what's happening with other people. And so, anyway, I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm glad you guys are leaning in. I'm glad that you're here for one another. Just a quick announcement I want to make, just so everybody's aware. Next week, we're going to make a change on a location. I think most of you already know. But we're going to be at the American Legion, which is right on the bluff above the riverfront there. Beautiful, beautiful location. We're going to start there at 6 o'clock Monday night. So that's Monday night, the 30th. So I have less time to prepare for that one. So would anybody like to make the Lean and Green for next week? Anybody want to volunteer to do that? All right, I'll make it. What's that? Tracy will. Okay, we've got somebody volunteer.
You get volunteered or voluntold.
Oh, that's all right. Well, tonight we got the mini Mac. How did you guys like that? Was it? Did it taste like the Big Mac? Good. Big Mac without bread. All right. Does anybody remember what the kind of the focus was for last week? What we talked about last week?
Intrinsic motivation.
Why?
Intrinsic motivation. Why?
I was in front of your wife.
Yeah. Yeah, she always puts her hands up. She's always got the answers. Intrinsic motivation, why? And why did we talk about that?
Makes me look smart.
What was the big reason that we talked about that? Yeah.
To be able to find something to anchor to be able to make sure that you're not just doing something superficial, you're actually getting down to the deep reason why it is that you're doing this, to be able to stick to it and remember even in the hard times.
Absolutely. Yeah, the bigger the why, the bigger the try, right? When we know what our why is, why we really want to do this, why we really want to pursue optimal health, it becomes an anchor for us in the times that are difficult, and it becomes kind of a powerhouse of motivation for us all the time. It just keeps us going. Because we got to remember, why are we doing this? And the why isn't just because I want to lose weight. Remember we talked about the 7 levels deep? Yeah, we want to lose weight, but why do we want to lose weight? Why do we want to lose weight now? And really, it's not just about losing weight, but it's about optimal health. It's about getting fit. It's about feeling good, getting good rest, and all those things. So tonight, we're going to go to the next one. We're going to talk about the what. Last week was the why, and second only to the why is the what. The idea last week was to awaken us to why it's really important to us to get clear and allow that to become the driving force and the motivation behind how we will succeed. But tonight I want to talk about the what. So the question is, what do you want to accomplish? And again, the what is the goals. That's where do we want to go? Where do we want to end up? What are we shooting for, right? Our why drives our motivation. I got to do my slides. Our why drives our motivation. Our what gives us focus. It helps us to be able to focus on what it is that we want to accomplish and keep our eyes set on that thing. Good morning or evening, ladies. Welcome.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead and find a seat. So our why drives our motivation. Our what gives us focus. There's a scripture that I love. There we go. I missed that. Proverbs 29:18. You ever heard this? Where there is no vision, the people perish. And the writer of Proverbs was a king, and what he was talking about is the fact that if the people of a kingdom don't have vision, if there's nothing to focus them, if there's nothing to give them something to drive for, a vision to chase after, then people literally die. The kingdom fails and it doesn't survive. The actual, a better interpretation of that particular verse in the original Hebrew is that without vision, people cast off restraint. And if there's nothing to unite us, if there's no vision to drive us, then we have a tendency to put off all of the important things, and then everything just kind of runs into muck and runs into chaos. So we need a vision. We need something to focus us and something to drive us. Where there's no vision, the people cast off restraint. You see, in pursuing this particular health journey, there's some restraints, right? What we eat, how we take care of our bodies and the things that we do. All of those kinds of things. When we don't have a vision to keep us focused, then we'll throw off all that stuff when it gets difficult, right? So we have to chain ourselves to that vision, right? And the right vision will lead us to life. Last week, I gave that quote that you cannot be what you cannot see. And we have to be able to see a future version of ourselves, an ideal version of ourselves that can give us that focus, right? So part of the awakening process is realizing that our current way of life isn't getting us where we want to be. Like I said last year, I was at that place. I was at a point where I could make some changes in my life, and I'm looking at everything, and I'm lining everything up, and there were some things that were great, some things that I loved what was going on in my life, and then there were some other things I was like, this isn't the way that I want it to be, and it's not giving me the results that I want for my future, right? So often we can feel that this is not what I want, but just as often we're not really sure what we do want. It takes time, it takes energy for us to sit down and write out and plan out and think out, what do we really want? And if we don't have a clear target, then we're not sure what we're shooting at, right? But we know that this isn't it. And part of the problem is that we live in a blaming culture. You guys know that? So if my life isn't the way that I want it to be, if it's not going in the direction I want it to, then somebody is to blame. And usually we find something or someone to blame for our problems. But we have to get our own focus. We have to get our own vision, and we have to set that. So without a clear, intentional target, we most often will default to whatever will bring pleasure in the moment. Right? We think about it, in the moment we think, okay, if we don't have a bigger vision driving us, if we don't have a bigger picture that's restraining us, that's keeping us focused and keeping us on track, pleasure is the next thing in line. And that's easy. The world will push us toward pleasure all the time. So let's look at this concept. Pleasure, it's an easy target that brings about instant, but usually short-term gratification. Think about it. Most things in your life that bring pleasure are short-term. If that's the reason for the pursuit of that thing, right? It's short-term, it's instant gratification, but then it's gone. or in the case of our weight, it stays. But the pleasure part of it is gone. The pleasure is long gone, especially when we look in the mirror and go, that is not the way I want to be, right? But true satisfaction is long-range sense of fulfillment and enjoyment of life derived from attaining dreams, goals, and aspirations, and true health and wellness. And that's what we need to put front and center, the thing that we chase after. There's a different course for each one of these. There's a different course for pleasure, a different course for satisfaction. And what we need to do is sit down and think about, take some time to process and think, what is going to bring me long-term satisfaction? I mean, what do I want my life to look like? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want my life to be about? What do I want other people to remember me for? How do I want to show up in life? My family, in my business, in my friends and acquaintances, in my church? How do I want to show up to life? The truth is, we find that pleasure rarely leads to this kind of satisfaction. As a matter of fact, it often leads to dissatisfaction. So I think we've got to embrace a target that leads to that kind of satisfaction. And in relation to our health, I want to read from the Habits of, or the Life book here. This is the book that Dr. Anderson wrote, the one that we is kind of our guidebook, if you will, for this particular health journey. And on page 52, he says this: let me take a moment and provide some insight. If you remember, I said the first week, I told the story of Dr. Anderson. He's a physician that decided to build this whole program because he was tired of having to treat people and watching people in tremendous amounts of unhealth, disease, when he knew that they could have avoided all that had they gotten healthy earlier. So this is part of his philosophy. Let me take a moment and provide some insight based on my perspective as a physician into the inconvenience of disease. If your daily choices are robbing you of energy and vibrancy, and you are gaining weight and becoming less fit, it will not get any better unless you take time for yourself right now. The inconvenience of being tied to 6 or more medications and having to take them multiple times a day will be a constant reminder that your health is on the decline. Remembering when to take them and coping with their debilitating side effects will all drain both your time and your resources. TV commercials are selling sickness in a way that is almost irresponsible. I would take out the word almost, personally. As their adverts glorify the importance of medicines by showing people using pharmaceuticals and thriving in their lives. Have you ever noticed that while they're reading all of the side effects and telling you all the things that this medication do, everybody's hopping around and smiling and laughing and swinging on swings, you know? It's like, what? Let me tell you, there is very little radiant health or well-being that comes from the long-term use of medications. This is coming from a doctor who at one point had to prescribe a lot of these medications. He didn't want to, but to save these people's lives, or at least give them some sense of well-being, he had to do that. And those people didn't come in swinging and laughing and playing. They would come in and in a state of disease. If you picture a future full of the inconvenience of multiple healthcare providers, appointments, constant pain and suffering, and the time you will need to allocate to dealing with sickness and disease later in life, I hope you can see how this is the perfect time to take control of your health and life. It's about getting a vision, setting goals for something better, and then determining that we're going to put our mind to it and we're going to go after it. All right. So let me talk about the skill set. That's the mindset. That's the mindset that we need to have. Now I want to talk about the skill set. This is not about waiting for satisfaction to magically appear, to which most of you in the room should go, yeah, duh, that's a really dumb statement for you to even make. But let's be honest, is that not kind of how we actually live, though? I think a lot of times we just kind of go with the flow, waiting for some kind of satisfaction to magically appear. But this is about what goals you will set as your target and spend every day aiming at. So I did a little bit of research, not a lot, just a little bit, on what a sharpshooter does. Sharpshooters obviously have a target. They have a goal. They have something that they set their mind to. And if they want to become proficient, they want to become excellent at being a sharpshooter, there's a few things that they need to do. There's the skill of stalking. You might not think about that. but the skill of stalking is developing the ability to approach and then get aim on your target. When they're out in the field, when they're in combat, they spend hours and hours and hours sneaking from this position to that position to that to that to that, so that they can go undetected and get close enough to their target to take a shot. So they have to find a way, they have to build this art of finding and approaching their target. We have to do the same kind of thing. We have to figure out how, we have to have a target, and we have to figure out how we're going to approach our target. The second skill set is marksmanship. The knowledge and understanding of what it will take to hit the target. There's all kinds of variables, like wind speed, gravity, even temperature can affect the way a bullet moves through the air. So a marksman has to be able to understand the science behind all of those things. In the same way, that's a lot of what this is all about, right? If we've got a goal, we've got a target, we've got something that we want to hit with our health, we have to understand all the things it's going to take for us to actually be able to get there and hit our target. And then there's the practice. Hours and hours focusing on hitting the goal. So a marksman or a sharpshooter will spend hours and hours and hours a day looking through a scope, shooting at a target, over and over and over and over again. It becomes a lifestyle. It becomes something, and this is one of the things they said as I was reading. They even said that it's not like riding a bike. If you don't do it for a while, you will drastically lose your skill. You have to keep doing it. You have to stay on task. You have to keep your eyes fixed on that target. You have to keep working at it. You have to keep practicing. And here's the thing. Good intentions do not produce success. Good habits do. So when we think about the goal, when we think about our vision, we have to think about what's it going to take to hit that goal, and then we have to build habits toward that goal. Habits that we can practice every single day. Now, one of the things I think is really important, and I really want you to hear what I have to say, because as a health coach, I've only been doing this for about 6 months, but I've also talked with other health coaches who've been doing this for a long time. And this is one of the common problems that health coaches struggle with their clients, is that oftentimes the goal is simply about weight loss. Partially about weight loss. But sometimes we can make that like the focal point, the big thing, the goal, the target. But the target has to be so much bigger than that. And we've got to figure out what it is that we are looking for in addition to the weight loss. The weight loss is really actually only part of the journey. It's only part of what gets us to optimal health, right? But I want to challenge you to dream big about your health, about what it means to be healthy, to actually achieve optimal health, to be in that place where you feel good, you feel strong, you feel confident. We need to dream big. Our health is too big to define with a weight number, right? As far as health is concerned, this is why weight just simply is not enough. We've got to go after optimal health. So I want to show you this illustration. This is kind of fun. I got to go over here to start it. Oh, here we go.
Will Penny Eagle, but beating it out here was Jasmine Lilly, which found the early lead. So Jasmine Lilly led, Ari went to second, 2 jobs next, Penny Eagle deeper. Then Lady Shadow and CJ's Heart, they turn out of the straight. And the front runner here, Jasmine Lilly, led by 3 to Ari, still a gap back then to Penny Eagle. Lady Shadow trying to wind up next. Then 2 jobs and CJ's Heart was last. It's Jasmine Lilly still with a big lead though. Jasmine Lilly from Ari, then Penny Eagle and Lady Shadow. So you want Jasmine Lilly, you stiff because it was going like the winner. Jasmine Lilly.
Listen to the guy's voice. Jasmine Lilly, what do I say? What do I do? All right, it's just more of that. But anyway, obviously, funny incident when the rabbit stops and all the dogs, they don't know what to do. Yeah. This actually happens more often than you would think. It happens periodically. And there's actually a story of a time when that happened and all the dogs just kind of freaked out. They didn't know what to do. One of them just like freaked out and ran into the wall, broke some ribs. Another time, a dog jumped over the fence, across the field, out a gate on the other side, into the woods. Took him hours to find him. Another dog just like started chasing his tail in circles. They didn't know what to do. The dogs don't know what to do, right? They're like, we're chasing the rabbit, then all of a sudden the rabbit stops. And for a lot of people, that's when we focus simply on weight loss, that's what happens. And when we get to the goal, well, we're like, I'm here, what do I do? What the dogs start doing, they start eating the goal. That's what we start doing. We start eating again. Oh, well, I guess I just, and we return back to the way that we used to do things before, right? A lot of those dogs will never race again. Once that happens, it's like, well, we caught it and it didn't do anything for us, so they won't race again. The next time they open the gates, they're like, what's the point, right? And in the same way, for a lot of people, they feel that way about their health. I lost a bunch of weight, and then I gained it all back. What's the point? Yo-yo dieting, all of those kinds of people, right? It's not about the weight loss. The weight loss is an important part of the journey. That can't be what it's about. Does that make sense? So it's about envisioning optimal health, embracing your why, and then making that the fuel for your energy to do what you need to do. So here's my challenge. I want to encourage you to draw your own target. That's not that slide.
It was just up there.
Was it? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because I forwarded when I got done with the video. So draw your own target. Put your goal at the center and then draw the steps to your goal outward from there. This takes time. It takes energy. This is the part that I, as a coach, I can't do for you. You've got to determine, why am I doing this, right? We talked about that last week. And then what exactly is this that I'm doing? What is my goal? What's my vision for my future? What do I want to see as far as my health is concerned? So here's the action, right? The action is the next thing. Don't get overwhelmed. We can walk this out a step at a time. You don't have to have this goal, this vision today, but it is something that you'll want to begin to work on, right? Because the best way to start a journey of 1,000 miles is with a single step. Sometimes, if we don't have a clear vision, we don't have the clear why, even the thought of doing this can feel like this big, huge thing I've got to do, and it can kind of become intimidating, right? But the best way to complete that journey of 1,000 miles is to take another step. So I want to encourage you to be thinking about this and finding some time, at least once a week, outside of even Health and Hope, to spend a little bit of time, maybe journaling, maybe just processing your thoughts. Why am I really doing this? What do I really want to accomplish? Where is this leading and how am I going to get there? It took a lot of steps to get to where you are. It's going to take more steps to get to where we want to be. We're simply correcting the course to get us where we want to be. So one more reason you need to get clear on your why. The journey is long, but it is worth it. So I want to do this little exercise, and I actually got this out of the book. And one of those, and then you can pass out the rest. Thanks, Tracy. So this, again, if you have the life book, I encourage you to actually go back to the life book and kind of play this out. There's a lot of stuff they say in there that I didn't say here. So you can embrace it a little bit more and you can write some things down. But this is taking the 6 macro habits of health, and without looking, can anybody, Amanda, tell us what the 6 macro habits of health are? You only know 3. Well, give us the 3, and then we'll see if, as a group, we can come up with the other 3.
Well, isn't it means your the hydration?
Yeah, nutrition and hydration. Yep.
Hydration, and then your sleep.
Sleep. Good sleep.
Oh goodness, and now I forgot the 3rd one. Now that you threw me out there.
No, that's okay.
Coaching.
Nope, those are the 4 components, right? This is the 6 macro habits of health. So healthy weight management is the most doable, and it's the first step that we take, right? Then eating healthier and better hydration. Obviously, we're eating healthier to get to the weight management, but then it's also about getting a healthy diet. Then there's healthy movement. That's the exercise. Now, we do tell people you don't have to exercise to lose weight on this program, and we found a lot of people who can't exercise that really lose weight effectively, and that's a beautiful thing. But that is not, again, if weight loss were the only part of our vision, then hey, if that works, we're good to go, right? Well, no, we know for optimal health, we need to be moving, and we need to put movement and exercise into our lifestyle. Better sleep. There are a lot of tips and tricks and habits that can lead us to better sleep. A healthy mindset, just the way we approach life, and then a healthy environment. That includes the space that we live in, the home that we live in, the people that we spend time around, and all of the things that we put around us in our environment. So those are the 6 macro habits. And basically the way this works is you can go through there, just take a few minutes, and you could take this home and do it too if you wanted to. You don't have to do it right here. But there, for healthy weight management, there's willingness. Willingness is that first part there. Rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm not really willing. I've met a whole bunch of people recently that I thought maybe they'd be interested in this, and they're just like, nah, I'm good. Or you may be at a place where you're motivated. You're like going, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I talked to a woman on Monday who was like, she started program. She was disappointed it was going to take 5 to 8 days for her box to get here. She said, well, I already started. I'm like, how could you start? You don't even have yours. She goes, I want to. I'm ready to go. She would have to circle the 10 there. Confidence. Do you have confidence that you can actually succeed at this? Hopefully, as we continue to do Health and Hope, your confidence will grow that I can do this. This is going to work, and I'm going to get to the place that I want to be. How about your readiness? Have you put things in your life and prepared? I talked to one person, well, actually the woman that I talked to on Monday, part of what she did was she ate all the rest of the food that was in her refrigerator and cupboards or threw it away. She was like, I'm ready to go now. Where's my food? I was like, you got to wait. So, and then I want you to think about what is your goal in this area, in the area of healthy weight management. Most of you, if you're on program, you've already told me your goal. You know what your goal is. And then what is your next move with this macro habit? What do you need to do next in order to, again, take that journey of 1,000 miles, take the next step, right? And then go to the next one. Eating healthier, better hydration, same process. Some of these kinds of things can help you to figure out maybe where you're struggling a little bit, where you're lagging, or where you're going to draw your strength from to really be successful at all of this. We'll do this for about 5 minutes. Man, I talked really fast tonight. Aren't you guys proud of me? It's not even 6.
Wow.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Anyway, so we'll do this. I'll let you guys kind of look over this and kind of go through this for about 5 minutes. And then we'll just have some table discussions where you guys can just kind of talk about what you're looking at there. All right?